This month's sewing plans are going to be a little bit different because of Me Made May. Now, I'm going to give myself some grace and not rush to get a whole bunch of things sewn like I usually do. And instead, I'm going to focus on personally challenge myself to finish up some of the projects that have been in the works for quite a while and fix a few things that have been holding up the finishing of a couple of garments so that I can actually get around to wearing them. Now, this doesn't mean that I will not be sewing a few new things this month. This is a sewing channel, and that kind of is what I do, but I'm not going to be crazy, so keep watching to find out all the details. Hi, I'm Tony, and this is So Lounge. Now, if you aren't familiar with Me Made May, it is a movement, that's what I like to call it, of getting back to personal relations with your handmade wardrobe and incorporating it into your daily life, into the rest of your wardrobe, or perhaps just revisiting some past makes and fixing them so that they fit you a little bit better. It was started by Zoe Edwards at least 10 years ago, maybe older. There is a lot of discussion about when this started. I was not sewing regularly back then, so I do not know. But I'll put her Instagram in the link below and you can check it out and follow along with her. It's not really a sewing challenge to make a whole bunch of things, but it's more about getting back in touch with the things that you've made and maybe, checking to see if you still like them, if they still fit, if they still work with your personal style and wardrobe. Now, for me personally, I tend to wear a lot of the clothing that I make, and I tend to make things to wear for certain occasions. And so I usually have pieces that work regularly in my wardrobe. I am a lawyer, so I do wear suits all week long, and I do not usually wear me-made clothing to court because until now I have not made any suits. So maybe when that happens one day I will. My plan is to wear some of my fancy jackets to court on Fridays, which is a little bit more casual. So, casual Friday, and then I'm still wearing a jacket with either a skirt or some slacks, but they're fun, colorful jackets. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can check those out as the month progresses. And then if I do go out and have any kind of an event or, dinner out or go to the museum or something, then I will definitely be wearing something I made because that's generally what I do. So I thought this would be a good time to look back on things that are hanging around in my closet and figure out what needs to be finished, because last month I remade a dress from 2022 that basically sat in my sewing closet for a year. Last November, I took it all apart and then it proceeded to sit there until last month when I finally decided it was time to figure out what was wrong and fix it. And that was super successful and it made me feel really good. And now it's one of my new favorite dresses. So I have a couple of things that have been lingering. You've probably seen this on my dress form in the background of several of my last videos. And this is a linen jacket. This is, I have the pattern here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Simplicity 3631. It is kind of a suit jacket with a skirt. My thought was to make this in a turquoise linen, and then I have a fun Japanese print to turn into the skirt, and then I was going to do covered buttons and bound buttonholes with grandma. So that video's been held up, and I haven't been able to make the bound buttonholes with grandma because I haven't finished the jacket, and the buttonholes are going to be the last piece of that. So I definitely am going to get this finished this month. So next month I can make that video with grandma and learn how to do bound buttonholes and share that wealth of knowledge with all of you. So this is on the list of things to get done in May. Next is this kimono jacket. It's inside out right now. This is Simplicity 1318. This is still in the pattern books if you like this style. And I'm making, there's a history of this. I was going to make this out of this fabric, and then I didn't have enough of it. And then I got more fabric, and now it's sitting because I cannot get this seam to match up. Minky came to visit. Okay, Minky. I cannot get this seam to match with this band, and so this is the outside band of the jacket, and I can't get the seam to match up and not pucker. So this has been something I tried to sew on, tried to fix, stopped, went back to it, ripped it all out, started again. I've ripped this off about 3 times now, and that's why it's just kind of been hanging out by itself. But I think that the time has come for me to just get it finished. So I'm going to try and do that, figure this out, and I may have to do a little bit of hand sewing to baste it in place, and then we'll go back in with the machine. And it might not be perfect, but I'd really love to be able to wear this. I have a tank top that's this really bright blue that I think this would look really good with. Just over some jeans, you know, kind of casual for summer, but really kind of cool looking too. Now, I don't have anything else hanging out right now, but I do have this dress which I made in 2021. And I know that because I wrote it on the pattern. So I finished this August 16th of 2021. So this was in the early days of my YouTube channel. And there's a bunch of videos on various parts of this dress, sewing in raglan sleeves. This has a faced hem. It's an uneven hem. And the problem with this dress is that the shoulder darts don't actually fit my shoulders. And when I put on the dress, like they kind of stick up funny. And so I ripped them out. And then my dress has been hanging in the sewing closet, just waiting. So I need to get some help, probably from either grandma or my sister, to pin the darts in place. And then I need to probably redo this neckband. So I need to probably rip that out and then put a closure on the back of it. So those 2 steps will make this dress wearable. And I really like it. It's this fun Japanese samurai kind of fabric. It's kind of kitschy, but you know, I just really like it. So I would like to wear it. It's perfect for summer. It is a great lightweight cotton sateen. And this is, let me tell you the pattern, 7862 from McCall's. I think this one is still in the pattern books too. I think I saw it the other day when I was going through some McCall's patterns. So this will be the quickest fix. And if, you know, someone can help me do this, I can probably get this done, you know, tomorrow. If someone can just help me pin it. So maybe I'll pop over to grandma's and see if she can help. So those are the 3 things that are already underway that I think I can get finished pretty quickly in the next week or 2. We'll be optimistic, 2 weeks at least. And then I also have in the works this new look pattern, which I know I was supposed to have done last month. That was the plan, to do the sew along. This is 6263 and I have it all cut out. So it's all ready to go. It's all marked. It's ready to go. I just have to get the interfacing onto all of the individual pieces and then I can start sewing. So that will be coming up very, very soon. And then because, you know, I want to sew and make a couple of dresses for the summer, specifically my birthday, which is on June 1st. I'm just having family over and friends, and we're just going to cook here and have cake and all that good stuff. I really would like to sew a knit dress. Now, I don't know which one I would wear for my birthday, but I think I'm going to make 2. The good thing about knits is they sew it pretty quick because there's no darts, and it's really just, you know, the basic pattern. So this was one that I got in my pattern haul last month. This is 8058. I think I'm going to make it in the scoop neck sleeveless version because it's summer in Texas. It's hot. I've been working out. My arms look really good. And, you know, I think it'll be fun and get a lot of wear in the summer. This one is going to be made in this beautiful tropical print, also perfect for summer, that I got when I went to London last year. And then the other dress I'm going to make, which is kind of hard to see because it is covered up by this weird shrug, is McCall's 8348. This is the long version of it, so I'm going to make the short version of it because nobody needs a dress that long in the summertime. And I'm going to be using my Zodiac knit fabric that I showed you in the last video. This is probably the fastest that I've ever gotten a pattern and decided to make it up. So I'm looking forward to that challenge and, you know, getting some more knit sewing under my belt. Before I forget, this is a me made creation. And if you follow me on Instagram or paid attention to the community tab, I did post about wearing it. This was the tank top that almost wasn't. I initially cut this fabric out using a pattern from the Everyday Style book by Lotta Jansdottir, which is a really beautiful and inspirational book. There's a lot of fabrics and textile inspiration and mood boards and all that great stuff, but the patterns are kind of lacking. And that pattern was a disaster for this fabric. Now, this is a waxed cotton that I got at the Quilt Museum in Central Texas, and it would work with a similar kind of fabric like linen, be kind of the same weight. And linen was a recommended fabric for the pattern, but it just did not work. It had some gathers on the front. It was making me look enormous, like maternity wear, which is fine, except I'm not pregnant. So I had to come up with a solution to be able to save this fabric, which I really love. And I think it's super cool. I love this whole graphic thing happening here, this kind of weird 3D sphere. And I found a free pattern for a tank at fabricsstore.com. I will put a link in the description below so you can check it out and get that pattern for yourself. It is a great pattern. It is super easy, and it's just 2 pieces, and then you use some bias tape for the finishing. So anybody can do this regardless of the level of sewing you're at. And I actually had to piece the fabric at the sleeves because the sleeves on the other, okay, true confession, I started cutting the armholes of the other pattern and I messed it up because, as we all know, you should not take scissors to any garment you've started. It is better to just put it in the sewing closet and let it sit for a while and then come back to it later. So yeah, I did that and I had to fix it because the pattern, there was pattern piece where there was no fabric. So I did some very intricate piecing with some Franken stitching and followed the white lines of the pattern to piece this together on the front panels and also the back. It's kind of hard to see because I did such a good job piecing, but if you are looking for a tank pattern, it is a great pattern. It is very flattering. This is a size 12-14, which is a single size in the pattern, but they have a bunch of free patterns. If you sign up for their email list, you have full access to their free pattern library, and they have a lot of beautiful linen fabrics, so you can go check them out. Me Made May usually sneaks up on me, and to be honest, I just remembered it was happening last week when I got an email from Sew House 7 about a sale they were having, and of course, I had to buy some patterns. But there is no pressure to participate in this event. Like I said, it's not really a challenge to do anything. It's more of a personal thing to kind of figure out your style, your wardrobe, and incorporate your handmade garments into your daily life. So no pressure to post on Instagram or, sew your little heart out unless that's something you actually want to do. So if you need a little bit more of a pep talk to get motivated to participate in Me Made May, you totally want to check out this video coming up next. It's exactly what you need to get you motivated, and there's a super easy project that you can whip out this month using fabric scraps. I just know you're going to love it, and I'll see you over there.